Hey, welcome everybody. We're going to get started here in just a few seconds.
All right. This is W6CRP. I'll be tonight's coordinator for the 2-meter crew anti-net. First of all, I'd like to thank the owners and the supporters for the W6 VVR repeater and the Baca Valley Radio Club for letting us use this repeater for the anti-net. If there's priority traffic at any time, let us know and we will clear the frequency. Is there any priority traffic at this time? Okay, hearing none. The 2-meter crew is not an actual club. We're hams that are learning, enjoying all things ham related. There's no dues or fees to be a 2-meter crew member. For more info, you can log on to the 2-meter crew website, which is the number 2metercrew.com, or visit our Facebook site, which is 2MC. This is an open net, and everyone is welcome. Please feel free to join in. The 2-meter crew anti-net meets every Wednesday at 7 o'clock on the W6 VVR repeater, 145.470, negative offset of 600 kilohertz, and a PL of 127.3 hertz. There's also a couple of other ways you can drop in. We can be accessed on Echolink at WG5EEK. Use the All-Star node at 51094. And there's a DMR talk group 314-9964. The anti-net is also being live streamed on the YouTube channel Northwest Ham Shack. So you can join us tonight there. Look us up on YouTube, Northwest Ham Shack. All right, we'll get a couple updates here a little bit. I think first, maybe I'm going to kick it over to Nick. He's stepping in and live streaming us tonight. Jason's taking a little vacation, well deserved. And so Nick has been doing a heck of a job, set up a shack and got us all dialed in to live stream. How are things going up there, Mr. KM6DAL?
KN6DAL, Nick here in Everett. Thanks for doing the net tonight, Carlos. Things are going good. Got a bunch of things going on the screens here, keeping the live stream going while Jason is out. And yeah, I'll jump in and let you guys know on Facebook we're up to 173 members as of yesterday. So that's going real good and lots of activity there. So if you have any questions or you want to learn more about the 2-meter crew, that's a great place to start. You can also check out the website like Carlos was saying. But again, thanks for hosting the net. So back to you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thanks for streaming. Website update. I've been on there. Not a lot of activity still, but just a good, strong place to put any reference materials or to look up questions about antennas, radios. There's a lot of good reference material there. And we do keep a calendar there. If we ever get out of lockdown, we're back outside doing our usual thing, mountain topping or other field activities. We'll try to get them there in the calendar. I know people have been locked down home, but any DXing reports or any good HF contacts that folks want to share. N6EE. Hey Jim, how are you doing this evening? And go ahead.
Roger Nets. Hiya, Carlos. Yeah, one individual, we worked in Algeria. 7X4 Alpha November. It was a wiki-squeaky contact, and he was only running 80 watts, so it was rough. Anyway, that's it.
used to be, but we'll just make the most of it. Anybody else got any interesting reports or planned activations? I know somebody went up on Mount Vaca a couple of days ago, and I was up the hill at the cabin, and I could hear them, but I couldn't quite get back to them. Anything else to share, folks? Absolutely, comment. Go ahead.
I'm trying to figure out how to get to Northwest Ham Shack. Anything I type doesn't get me anywhere near anything I'm looking for. What's specific to the link?
Hey, Nick, you want to field that one?
If you just type in capital NORTHWEST and then a space and then HAMSCSHACK, it should take you right to that. Are you on our Discord page at all? I can post a link there in the chit chat.
Oh, I'm not. I'll try the YouTube thing.
Remember, you're searching in YouTube, not in Google's.
Yeah, copy that. Google doesn't know me yet. KN6DAL.
Yeah, give us another shout in a minute if that doesn't work. As for 2MC planned events, we don't have anything yet. There was a little chatter about going to a shooting range as things are hopefully starting to loosen up and open up. We're definitely keeping an eye on that, and when we're able to get out and about, we'll set up whatever we can. So if you have ideas about that, post them on either Facebook or on the website. We peruse through there and keep track of them, but any ideas for the future, definitely let us know, and we'll see if we can't plan for them when we're set free. All right, at this time, I'm going to take check-ins, and I'd like to start with newly licensed or upgraded hams. So if you're a new licensed ham or upgraded, come now. Let us know what you're doing. I was really hoping W1FRD was listening. We could give him his official congratulations to General.
CMV AG.
Chris. Go ahead.
Kind of got my thank you last week, and I appreciated it. But boy, yeah, that Fred, he already got his FCC license officially, and he was a week after me in his testing. So congratulations, Fred.
Yeah, and I saw the post. You guys were working a little HF in the evenings, trying to make it up there to Washington to Nick, and it sounded like you guys were having a ball. I had just got back home from the cabin. I was pretty beat and didn't want to go downstairs and fire it all up.
Yeah, we've been on 80 meters pretty regular, a lot of the 2-meter crew guys, and just trying to get something going during the week, spinning up the HF rigs. It's been pretty fun. I also learned, got inspired by Jason from Ham Radio TV to set up FT8. I know that's sort of a polarizing issue in ham radio, but geez, when the band was down this week, I had a lot of fun still making some contacts even while I was working from home. In one day, within about 6 minutes, I got a contact in New Caledonia, and then about 6 minutes later in Cuba. So you can have fun when the bands are down.
That is cool. I think you were mentioning we're going to have to do a topic on FT8 one day. Maybe next meeting or two, we can cover that.
I think we got a few people starting to tinker with it out here, and it'd be fun to do something with it and let people see what it's about, what it is, and what it isn't.
All right. Anybody else? New upgrades, newly licensed hams. How about any first-time visitors want to check in? And this is W6CRP with the 2 meter crew anti-net. Anybody have any interesting topics they want to check in with? I'm probably not going to go through and check everybody in tonight. We do have a topic we want to cover. But anybody with some interesting or something they want to share with the 2 meter crew, go ahead, come now, check in, and I'll let you go.
Cam 6SRX.
Station KN6, but you're kind of quiet. Can you come one more time?
I'm sorry, Carlos. It's Kilo Mike 6, Sierra Romeo X-Ray, Will in Vacaville.
Hey, Mike, go ahead.
Hey, I think that was me up on Mount Vaco on Saturday. I went up there, 2 meter simplex on 146.52, spent an hour up there and made 22 contacts, farthest away being 86 miles direct. So, pretty good day.
Yeah, that is a good day. And I could hear you. I'm trying to think. It was maybe a Kilo 6 TOU, Tango Alpha Oscar, you were talking to, and I could hear you guys great, but I couldn't break in, and I was using all 80 watts I had up there.
Yeah, I was on the kind of the south side of the slope when it starts to slope down towards Vacaville. So if you were north and west of me, I wasn't getting it. But if you were south or east, I was getting people for a long distance. So that was a fun time. Took my lunch up there, just using a 50-watt Yaesu in my car with a little 24-inch Comet antenna.
Yeah, very good. I'll have to try you again next time. Yeah, I was probably east. Oh, I don't know how far it is direct. The driving, it's like 130 some miles up to the cabin, but direct, probably, I don't know, 90, 100, something like that, I guess. But yeah, good contacts. Sound like a good time. Anybody else with something interesting to share with the crew?
Yeah, a quickie. Carlos, NN60, I'm going to have to slide on out of here. Have a few honeydews. Adios, yourself and everyone else out here. NN6, Echo Echo, clear.
All right, Jim. Have a good one, and thank you for checking in, sir.
Our pleasure.
W6CRP. And anybody else want to check in, anything to share with the crew?
6BXX, a quick good evening, Carlos, Nick, and the gang.
Michael, how are you doing?
Kinda stay cool and chill. Yeah, another day at work, but not too bad. And I was talking to that guy who was on that mountaintop a couple of days ago. He came in loud and clear my little radio, so I was quite impressed. Good job up there. Thanks. Nothing to otherwise for me. And by the way, Nick, I'm subscribed to your Northwest TV channel, so we got lots of rise of ham TV. So good job there, Nick. Carlos and Nick, I'll get you back. You guys take care, stay cool, and keep radio going. KN6BXX clear. Have a great day.
Appreciate that very much, Michael. KN6DAL.
Not on the air a lot last week or so, week and a half. Getting big honeydews done, and I haven't talked to you in a while, so good to hear from you. Anybody else checking in?
N6VLF, have a comment.
N6VLF. Go ahead, Kevin, with that big microphone.
If I want to come through on the repeater, I need to use this little radio here, right? Just shake your head yes or no, Nick. Yes. Okay. All right. Hey, I just had an idea. Field day is coming up at the end of June, and the Vacaville Radio Club, we're going to have a field day get-together, and we'll give everybody, it's here in town. And I was just curious, get some input between now and then. Anybody interested in, maybe we could have an antenna experiment on field day for those of you that are interested. We'll set up a end-fed random length wire with a 9-to-1 balance, set up an end-fed half wavelength wire with a 49-to-1 balance, and then have the stuff laying around that we can play with it, just so that we can get some first-hand experience and experiments as what really is a random wire, and why does it behave like that, and the same thing with the 49-to-1, and then maybe even hook it up to a radio and try and make a contact. Just curious if any of the listeners, if anybody's interested in that kind of stuff, maybe we could put something together and let people get some hands-on. Just curious. N6VLF.
Yeah, any comments? Go ahead.
KN60AL, I'll comment on that. I'd be interested in it, but you're going to have to devise like a phone that you can kind of keychain over your neck and carry me around. Would that work?
Carlos can carry you. Actually, I think what I'd like to do is assign that so Carlos and Chris, can you take turns carrying Chris around field day for us? Thank you.
Yeah, sounds like a big assignment. I heard WB6, WYF there in the background too.
I think that's a great idea. Fantastic idea.
Yeah, me too. Do a little antenna experimentation and learning while we're there setting up. I'm hoping they kind of kick stuff loose by then. What are you thinking right now, Kevin, for plans? Getting a lot of interest, or what are you looking like for field day?
At the moment, once we rent the Cadillac porta potty, it's all downhill from there. We're going to do it. So with that said, we're renting it, and on June, what is that? The last weekend of June, I want to get the dates right, so I'm going to look at it. It's the 27th and 28th, and we set up on the 25th, and it's going to be on at my place on our property, just like we had before. And we have Jason, KM6FAK. He's in charge of camping logistics, so there's only so many spots, and our club members will be first come, kind of first serve for the slots. We've already got about 4 or 5 of them taken from last year. I think we have 10 or 12 slots to get the proper distancing and all that kind of stuff. Let me let it drop. So we have to check with Jason on that. Bob Hawkins, KM6BXZ, is our safety officer, and Frank, KJ6RWQ, he is our chef. He's managing the food, and the rules are simple. You're welcome to come on when we're setting up to check it out. You're welcome to come visit on Saturday and Sunday, because the official times are 11 a.m. on Saturday to 11 a.m. on Sunday. And if you're comfortable or want to wear a mask, please do so. If you want to wear a mask and gloves, please do so. If for any reason that you are not comfortable coming and you just want to talk to us on the radio remotely, we welcome radio check-ins as well, because we'll be listening to this repeater. So we're going to be there on Saturday, and during Saturday we'll have the lunch, and it's a free lunch. The club supplies food to the members and visitors that show up for lunchtime, and we'll let you guys know when we're going to do the scheduled field day tech experiment, the antenna thing, because it's kind of an antenna day, and we'll take a break and do let some guys play with some antennas, and also we'll have several radio stations set up, and the individuals that are comfortable allowing others to speak on their radio, that will be offered, and those that are comfortable doing so will have the opportunity. And if you choose to just listen at a comfortable distance, that is okay too. There's really not a whole lot that's not okay. We will not be letting. Frank likes to, anyways, we're not going to talk about our cook. We just keep him in the kitchen. So anyways, it's kind of
social distancing anyways. Brian, KK6BXP, the professor, we make him go out a couple hundred feet away anyways. So it's a kind of a normal thing for us. So to say we're going to do it, we're going to social distance, we're going to be careful, visitors are welcome, and the camping spots will be limited to the limited number we have, and to the members that can please sign up and let us know you're going to come for sure. That way we don't sign you up and somebody loses a spot, unless of course it's an emergency. That's always understandable. That was really long-winded, wasn't it, Carlos? You should not give me the microphone. N6BLF.
Thank you, sir. But that's what I wanted. I wanted folks to kind of understand what it would look like, and that it is a large plot, and there will be room to socially distance yourself, and that you guys have been thinking about it and taking appropriate precautions. So it was good. I think that's good info for folks just to hear from you. Any other comments on field day or questions? Well, I see W1FRD has checked into the YouTube. Are you there listening, Fred? He is just not going to let me congratulate him tonight. That's what that's about. All right, anybody else with something to share with the crew or check-ins? Come now.
6KWV and KM6TAX.
All right, go ahead, KD6KWB.
Good to hear you, Carlos. Not much here, just fighting the heat in the shack, getting some things ready. And I was looking at the clock knowing it was time, so here we are. It's good to hear everybody tonight. KD6KWV.
Yes, sir. And what was the other call sign you called out?
KM6TAX with KD6KWV.
Man, it seems like it's been forever. How are you doing?
Good. I'm trying to figure out which speaker mic to pick up here. Oh yeah. What's the Zoom? What's the Zoom code or the? You need to know what Nick's. Oh no. I got Nick's YouTube. I need the Zoom. Are we doing the Zoom tonight?
Go ahead. I'll let you figure that one out.
KN60AL. Yeah, we're going to post in just a little bit. We're going to post the Zoom meeting in our YouTube comments. So you have to go through all different avenues to get it.
We try to hold out and do a little bit of radio first, just to keep us legit, and for us old timers that are just working the RF here. Thanks for checking in, though, you guys. Anybody else want to check in or got comments?
KN6 VNQ.
KC7ADD checking in. Just saying hi.
All right, KC7ADD, I got you. Thanks for checking in. Before that was a KN6. What were the last three?
The one and only VNQ.
Right, how could I miss that? Well, sir, have you been out and about doing any field work yourself?
Actually, over the weekend, I decided to play some midnight 20 meters and pulled out Hawaii, Japan, and 2 Australia stations on 20 meters exactly at midnight, and then they all quickly faded away. So, I guess 20 meters is starting to tease us as we head into this very, very hot summer. I would go out and play portable, but it's 105 degrees outside, so I don't want to bake
like some of the cookies my mom's been baking recently. So anyway, evening to the net, and hope everyone's staying safe. KN6 is the NQ.
Excellent work. You're making me jealous, you know. You always have a good contact or two or something fun you've done out in the field when you check in. Anybody else got something to share?
C7 ADD, just letting you know, at 2 o'clock this morning on 40 meters, I worked Tokyo. Got a guy named Yoshi.
Nice. And that was on 40, right? Good contact. All right, I think I'm going to move ahead then into our topic. Chris has put something together today for us on NetLogger. We do run NetLogger on all of the anti-nets, and so we're still learning on our end, and it's kind of how we can punch everybody in. I can call you back with your call sign and remember your name and who I've checked back with and so forth. And there are ways to log yourself in. So a few folks have asked, and Chris kindly stepped up and is going to kind of walk us through NetLogger tonight. So N6 CMB is all yours.
All right, well, I'm going to see what we can do here. I'm going to try to hit the important parts and try to keep it basic as well, mostly because probably my experience with NetLogger is a bit basic, but it's a pretty good tool for clubs, you know, to do keep track of the logins on. would be on here, 2 meter crew. You'd click it once, it would turn blue, and in the bottom left, this is where people get, I think, a little mixed up. In the bottom left, it says monitor net. That's what you want to click, monitor net. So you're gonna pick 2 meters. So that's all you're doing is monitoring. If you want to help monitor or help with logging, or if you just want to put your own name in, go back to those big blue buttons and find the one that says Start Logging. It's right next to Stop Monitoring. You don't have to hit Stop Monitoring, just hit Start Logging. When you do that, you're going to get a little pop-up screen that's asking for a password. To date, our password has always been
Hey Nick, the audio's going away.
Yeah, I see that. I think he might have timed out my node. Are any of you on VVR? Can you turn it on? Unmute your mic.
questions so far on getting into that.
There we go. That works.
Questions so far on getting into that.
Hey, Chris.
Now it's echoing.
Yeah, you'll have to turn it.
There
There it goes.
Screen. There we go. Let's jump to the next page. So
Okay,
one
now
thing
he's
you can do
back.
is you can set up your account for automatic field population. You can see here I've got my QRZ paid subscription, so I put in my account there, and it automatically will enter all that information instead of me having to fill it out. Where's the guy from and all that kind of information? It just pulls it out of the data. You can use EQSL or you can use Logbook of the World. You see the different choices here. It's just a menu setting. If you have, you'll have to put in your passwords for your accounts so that it can go there and get it. Okay? Now, I've got a couple of quotes here. So, first one's from Carl Sagan. Carl Sagan said there are no naive, he says, there are naive questions, tedious questions, ill-phrased questions, questions put after inadequate self-criticism. But every question is a cry to understand the world. There's no such thing as a dumb question. That's Carl Sagan. And another guy you guys might know, Colin Powell, he said there's no such thing as a stupid question, only stupid answers. So hopefully I don't have too many stupid answers for you. I'm going to go ahead and get out of, for those that are watching on the screen, I'm going to get out of the presentation and I'm going to bring up NetLogger Live, and you guys can see what I'm looking at when I'm logging. And I'm going to open it up for questions after I just do a quick explanation here. So, again, the top half of the screen is populated with the logins that I've taken tonight, either over the air or that I've seen on YouTube. You'll see this one is not highlighted red. That was KM6SRX. I actually think he might have been on, that's Bill in Vacaville. I think he's been on before, but I've never logged him. So he's white. I'm going to go ahead and go up to this big blue button again, and I'm going to log the contact. Once I do that, now he's red like the rest, and if we go down to the bottom, it's a big long list with a lot more call signs and all the information. And right up at the top here, we should see Bill from Vacaville. He's the 136th unique login we've had on the Antinet, at least that we've captured. I'm sure I've missed a couple along the way. So I'm going to go ahead and open up again for questions. That's the end of this sort of formal presentation. I might go ahead and look into a few menus as we talk, but again, I want to see if anybody has any questions about that process or about NetLogger software. There's a few more things that we can see up here under setup that become important, where you can actually get club profiles and start logging your club nets so that they're put into a database where everybody has access to them. We don't do that, but it's pretty powerful software. There's a message system, so if you had a couple people logging, you can have another window open with instant messaging going on between you, and it's got a couple neat features like that. So let me go ahead and open it up again. Anyone who wants to ask about NetLogger.
6WIF. So if we want to log ourselves in, we just enter the call sign and the necessary information in the blue box, and then hit log contact.
So remember, first thing you'll do is you'll go in and you'll have to pick the net, and you're going to hit that monitor box. And when you get back to the NetLogger page, you got to tell it you want to start logging before you enter that thing. If you're just monitoring and you try to enter a call sign, it's not going to work. You got to start logging. And yep, once you do that, there's a column. It looks very much like a Excel spreadsheet, a Microsoft spreadsheet. And in the first column is call sign. You're just going to enter a call sign in that column. And once you do that, you either have to enter the other fields if they don't come up automatically, but if you're tied to a database, they'll fill in. They'll fill in right here.
WB6WIF, can I give it a try?
And we just had WE6WYF log himself in.
W6CRP. Hey Chris, yeah, show them the AIM window real quick for messaging there. You hit the blue button, AIM window also.
I'm trying to find it. I found it today actually, like for the first time. Hold on, where is it again? AIM window, here we go, there it is. And it's a funny name because they call it almost instant messaging.
So Chris, how do you tie it to a database so it fills in automatically? You may have already told us, but can you show us again?
You bet. I'm going to go here to, I got to make sure I go to the right spot, whether it's setups, or yeah, we're going to go down to accounts. So there's a menu option at the top under the menu title of setup. And then you kind of get a pull down of menus. You go down to accounts. And when you click on accounts, you'll get a pop-up window, and it asks you for your information for QRZ, EQSL, or Logbook of the World.
Thank you.
And one quick comment there. As you can see, if you were watching, or those that can't see it, when you use that AIM window, it takes a few seconds. I forget how long it said. It updated that messaging system, but it's not instantaneous. It'll be, I don't know, 30 seconds or so before you see your message pop up there. But if you want to send a message or something to the logger or somebody else that's logged on, you could pop it in right there.
It's helpful when we're running a net like this. We might see somebody jump into YouTube, and we can send a message to another logger, or just any kind of traffic that will help keep the net working.
Question, KM6ZTH.
You sound like you're going to stub me. Go for it.
Just want to stimulate the conversation. So is there any way that if I determine some of that information in what you have laid out there, can I rearrange the columns to be interesting things in the order that I want them to be?
You can, and it's pretty much simple drag and drop. I've never moved them. It probably would be nice to have them, in a different order. For instance, this member ID, because we're not using a member ID, that's something the club might use. I might want to move that out of the way, so I can just click on city, and I can drag that column across, and I can move it wherever I want it and have the relevant information kind of at hand that I want to have. Another kind of cool option is when you start building a database up, you can use in the bottom half here the contacts that we've logged. You can sort, you can search, you can put custom filters on as your list grows longer to find people and see where they're from. One of the things that Nick and I were talking about earlier tonight is we wish we had started getting the mode of connection people made, so we could see how many people are coming in across Echolink, how many people are coming in across DMR, how many people are coming in across the repeater directly. It would be kind of neat to know that, and we may start to add that over time as we go through our logging and have people come back. So it would be information that we could get, check the popularity of the electronic modes, digital modes, whatever you want to call them.
KN60AL, I'll chime in here real quick. I just wanted to say, as we've grown and as we've started taking more and more people checking in throughout these anti-nets, a bunch of people kind of talked about how we could best collect as many people's call signs and find out how many people were really getting activated on the anti-net every week. But we really didn't want to turn it into something where the whole net, all we did was take call signs in. And so those of you that feel comfortable jumping on here, we usually try to get the net logger going 15 or 20 minutes before the anti-net even starts, and you can get your call sign logged in and get checked in, and you don't even really have to check in audibly until maybe an interesting topic comes up that you want to speak to or something like that. And for those of you that have checked in multiple times, you can forego it and maybe let somebody who's never had an opportunity to check in with the net before. And that was kind of the main purpose of this, and I think you captured it really well there, Chris, so thank you very much.
Without a doubt, we had a lot of discussions about whether we do like a full kind of formal check-in every night and what the value is. And what we didn't want to lose is getting people talking, getting people out on there and telling some stories and sharing some ham and whatever. But we also didn't want to just blow through all of our time, having long check-in periods. So we're trying to find that balance. So I just encourage everyone who's listening, if you didn't get a chance to check in, but you still have something to say, let Carlos know, jump in there and have your say on the radio. And if you want to hang around and jump in the Zoom, at the end, that's another good place to ask questions and talk to some of the quote-unquote experts, of which I am not one. And just have some fun hamming it up.
W6CRP, and that was perfect. I actually appreciate you guys both bringing that up. It's something we've been kind of talking about a bit in the background, and I think they kind of nailed it. We are the anti-net, and that was the thing. We didn't want to be a check-in stop. There were a lot of folks that were learning. I'm still very new ham, and this was a place to get together, share a little bit of learning, talk about ideas or neat stuff you've done, and then plan field activities. We were doing quite a bit before the COVID-19 shut us down. We do a breakfast once in a while. We move that around. We do a lot of mountain topping or just getting out of the shack and trying different stuff. So we're constantly doing balance. There's a lot of new technology. I'm going to let this drop. There's a lot of new technology around this crew too, which I really enjoy seeing where they're taking it. I mean, like live streaming it on YouTube and They do Zoom meetings afterwards where you can face-to-face ask a little more detailed questions because you can have conversations. Just a lot of different aspects, but we don't want to lose This is Ham Radio, right? And RF and HF, we do that and keep our basis around the radio. So it's a constant balance. You know, we're trying to figure out what people enjoy. So I'm gonna open the door here and see if anybody has any comments about the anti-nets we hold, what you like, or maybe some ideas. So I'm going to go ahead and open the floor up here. Go ahead.
Whiskey 6, Quebec, New Zealand. I didn't catch it.
I heard a very quiet station there, and I couldn't quite make you out. But don't be shy. I mean, we've tried all kinds of stuff. Let us know what's working, what's boring, and what you like seeing. I think the topics are great myself, and we're constantly looking for somebody to give us something to talk about, learn a little something every week. I don't like just doing repetitive check-ins. If somebody has something neat to share that they've done, I think that's awesome. I do like the conversation, not, I guess, the check-in, but updating us if you went camping or bought a new radio or something else, I think that's good. But that's just me. Other thoughts?
KN6DAL. My favorite part about the anti-net is when I hear people come in that just got their ham radio license. That is probably the biggest impact to me is when I hear people come on and they had either just taken the test and got their ticket or whatever the case may be, but the brand new amateur radio operator that managed to find his way to the anti-net and check in. I think that's just the coolest thing. And so my ambition as far as this hobby goes is to ultimately continue to try to progress the hobby and get new people to want to join and to make it appealing to, you know, more and more people as we go along. And so I think that, you know, all the different digital modes that we use to connect and really try to get our name out there is our best avenue of bringing those people in, because there's been people that have came on this net that have never talked before, and this was the first time they had an opportunity to talk amongst different people. And so I think that that's my favorite part about the anti-net. Just my 2 cents. KN6DAL.
Thank you, Nick. Anybody else want to chime in? W6CRP.
Yeah, we had a W6 prefix try to key up. Might have been a digital station, so let's give him a second. It's easy to walk on him here on the RF. That famed W6 station that tried to key up, coming in.
That's all right. If you guys think about something you want to share, check in later. Or if you'd rather punch it out on 2 Meter Crew Facebook, remember the number 2 MC, or the website, the number 2metercrew.com. Any of the venues we use drop. You know, we're always looking for guidance, what people want to see, and we try to work it out. Keeps us busy and occupied too. And like I was saying, I'm looking forward to us hopefully slowly working our way out of this shelter in place where we can get out and get active in the field again. I think that's when I'm learning the most. But I think I'll go around for any last comments or check-ins, and then we'll flip it over to Nick and see if he's got anything on live stream and take us to Zoom. So any last comments or check-ins? Kind of quiet today. I think might be the heat, because I know I'm down in the shack, which is my garage, and it is warm. So I don't blame you. Nick, go ahead.
KN60AL. Yeah, I noticed I'm the only one here wearing a sweatshirt, so there must be quite the temperature difference going on right now. Sorry for you guys, but no, the chat's live. People are talking. Fred came in. He's in the Walmart line, or he was when you were calling him out. And yeah, so it was good. I'm gonna post on here the Zoom feed here in a second, and we'll after you close down the anti-net, we'll keep the Zoom feed going for a little bit, and see if anybody wants to jump in and say hi. So with that, I appreciate everybody giving me a shot to air this because Jason wasn't able to do it, and we will be back on Ham Radio TV next week, and then we'll see where we go from there. So I appreciate it, Carlos, and thanks, Chris, for doing the topic, and everybody who joined in. KN6DAL.
Thank you, Chris. Any last comments, sir?
Hey, just curious if any ideas what kind of content we might be seeing coming from Northwest Ham Shack in the future. What's the vision there, Nick?
Ooh, good question, Chris. So I don't know, to be honest with you. You know, I've thought of a couple of videos and then sort of backed away from them because other people kind of touched on the topic already. But I don't know. I want to find a way to be as much service to the ham radio community as I can. So whatever that means, that's what I'll do. If that means tending to people that maybe have questions that are very beginner oriented, I'm more than happy to post things like that. I think that we're all learning at different rates, and so there's maybe things that I know that other people don't, but that there's definitely things that other people know that I learn from on a daily basis. So I don't want to necessarily just regurgitate that. I would like to find a way to maybe poke YouTube in a way that works for everybody, and that maybe has content that is either enjoyable or at least educational to people, and furthermore just promotes the hobby to keep people interested in it. So that's all I got. KN68.
That sounds good. WG5 EEK, our connection man extraordinaire. And by the way, really nice job on setting up the power supplies after that last topic, which was phenomenal. Mike, anything to share with the crew?
Yeah, so this is WG5EK, and I had last week during the YouTube, just like you were saying, I had a local ham reach out during the chat. It was Chris, and his call sign is KJ6DLF, and he said, hey, if anyone's local to Fairfield, Vacaville, I've got 4 of these power supplies that anybody can have. And so I was like, yes, I will definitely take some. So I went and grabbed them this weekend. I was using Bruce's presentation, his expertise, and all that he's done. Bruce, that's being N6THN, that's his call sign. And yeah, so with the help of Kevin and load testing them and getting the connectors soldered on, and the liquid, it's like this stuff called liquid electrical tape, which is odd. You just kind of paint it over it. It kind of seals off the connector or the connection, so you don't shock yourself. I just posted a couple pictures in the Discord, so if you guys are on that, you can take a look. And yeah, they're coming out pretty nice. I've got 2 built. I got 1 more to go, and then I have to continue to paint the backside of them. And then yeah, I'm gonna give 2 of those away, and I'm gonna keep 1 for myself.
Ah, that's cool. You're going to have to do a lottery or a quiz or something on the giveaway. Good idea. And Justin, you got anything to share with us?
Oh, just playing with audio and figuring a few more things out with that, and trying to beat the heat. I haven't played too much radio because, like the rest of y'all, sitting out here sweating it out isn't my favorite. KM6ZTH. You
got that right, and thank you, sir. N6 VLF, the mighty one, the Presidente, Kevin. Anything to share before we kick this off?
Not a whole lot. Just, I'm in the VLF studios here with the air conditioner turned on. I hope you guys can't hear it. It's a little funky portable one. At least it works. But, yeah, a lot of fun goofing off with Mike's power supplies. Those things are monsters, by the way. My little tester will take it to 60 amps, like a serious 60 amp. Actually goes like almost 65, and those things didn't even flinch, man. And they weigh like 12 ounces or something ridiculous like that. They're super light, and they're very, very clean, very, very, very clean. They're amazing. So, yeah, if you get your hands on one of those supplies, you know, for a couple bucks or free, grab them. It's really fun. Anyways, hope to hear everybody next week, and hopefully those of you can make it out to field day. That's going to be great. And keep the ideas for topics coming in, and we'll all collectively try to get something out here for you. Thanks, Carlos.
Thank you. All right, last chance, comments or check-ins for the crew, and then I'm going to turn it back one more time to Nick and let him give you the Zoom. Have you posted the Zoom there yet, Nick?
No, I'm trying to figure out how. KN6DAL. I don't have any other comments other than if Chris, if you could post the Zoom link into the comments on YouTube, can you do that for me? Every time I try to post it, it just comes up as a Discord app invitation.
Give it a shot. String us along a little bit more here, and hopefully I can do it.
All right. Well, those guys are working on it. Any last comments or check-ins?
W0WXL.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I'm just arriving late, unfortunately, tonight. I always try and check in and see what's happening here. You guys are doing some phenomenal work. For me, I'm really happy to have 10 through 40 finally working on everything. No SWR issues to speak of. And now I'm looking at getting a little bit of a boost out of an old amplifier I've got here and increasing my antenna from 40 to 80, or replacing the 10 through 40 I've got now with an 80. And then continue working with the 2 meter and 440 stuff. I've got a couple of antennas I need to get up in the air and increase my range a little bit with them. So, but just listening to everything that's going on here and the phenomenal things you guys are doing is just a real joy to me. So I'm really delighted that I can be included in this. Thank you all very much.
Well, thank you very much for joining in and being a part of it. W6CRP. And anybody else? Comments or want to check in?
November 6th, Romeo, Juliet, Mike, and Carmichael. Just wondering, how do you connect up on the Zoom feed?
I believe they are working on posting that to YouTube. There's a live feed in YouTube. It's the Northwest Ham Shack, and they've got it punched in there, I believe. Chris, is that up there?
Yeah, it's not real pretty, but you should see the HTTPS, what you need to plug into your web browser. So grab that, cut and paste that, and then you'll put in the meeting ID that's there, and then the password is NetLogger tonight. And if any of you have been in Zoom in the past, it's actually the same Zoom room. It just changes the password week to week.
Did that get you where you need to go?
Thanks, guys. And 6RGM.
All right, well, thank you, everybody. And you guys that put together the live feed and NetLoggers and the Shack backup, all the coordinators, thank you very much. Another good one. I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Folks are welcome to stay along and chit-chat on the air or jump into Zoom, where you can do a little face-to-face talk and any other questions that you have. So this is W6CRP, closing the 2-meter crew anti-net. And again, thank you very much to the Vaca Valley Radio Club for letting us use your repeater, the W6VBR. And W6CRP, turning it back over to normal operation. Clear.
Yeah, I kept trying to call you out on the air. I wanted to publicly congratulate you for the general, dude. Yes, sir.
It looks like you were in bed sleeping the whole time.
You and Chris both.
I heard you on your 5 watts, Fred, and so did Nick.
I can't believe Nick heard me.
Well, I was listening on the SDR out of Half Moon Bay, and I heard all of our chatter because there was like 4 or 5 of us talking all at the same time, and you came in like a minute after Jason had just made his first transmission. And I heard in the background, I'm like, I hear something, a real weak station breaking through, and I hear you, like, it almost sounded like you were screaming at the top of your lungs. It was awesome.
Yep.
He was like, KCFRD, Fred, I'm here at Fairfield. Can you hear me? It was like, yeah, dude. And Jeff and Nevada City, he could hear you too.
Hey, if anybody has
like
the
David is checking into Zoom here. How you doing, David?
Good. How are you this evening?
Good. A little warm, but hanging in there.
Good.
Good.
Hey, if anybody's still got their YouTube up and going, you got to mute that out or we'll get some nasty.
Yeah, but mute it after you see my little icon in the bottom go away. If I'm not in the bottom anymore, can you still hear audio coming from YouTube? I tried to change Discord on the fly there. So the banner should be gone out of the bottom.
Yeah, the banner's gone.
Can you still hear my audio through YouTube?
Let me check. Hang on. Try it again.
I don't think so.
Because I added all the audio features in. That's what happened the last time.
No audio on YouTube.
Okay. I'll put my banner back on. All right.
I guess it's really official now. You're a YouTuber.
Barely.
They all start somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, good job. That was smooth, Nick. That one
Yeah,
hiccup.
man, I'll tell you what. Really smooth.
Yeah. So what happened, part of the problem, and this all happened at the same time, I got this bright idea to get myself out of the way so that you could do your presentation. And I have my audio input and output linked to my face cam on a section. For those of you that have used OBS at all, I have it all linked to one scene when I should have it in separate scenes. And so when I removed myself, it removed audio as well, so nobody could hear anything. So in
there's
order,
a way to lock your audio to one device.
right? But I think I have to. I mean, I'm not familiar enough with the program to know if I can change it on the fly here. I tried, but it doesn't seem to be picking up audio when I switch it back over.
So anyone on the radio was hearing it, but Zoom, they lost it, and probably on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah, the radio was steady.
Listening on the radio. We were all muted on Zoom. So
There was a lot of people that thought I was going to burn that repeater right down to the ground.
Yeah, I think my node reset too. Hey, Michael.
Hey there. Good job, Nick.
Thank you.
Is this your first?
Excellent job. I really like your logo too.
My wife made it for me.
It's very clean.
Yeah.
You know,
You did great, man. Looks good.
There's nothing better than an ex-wife who has your back.
Oh no, yeah, she definitely supports me. I don't know why sometimes, but she does.
You know what, Nick?
I think that may be a commonality.
Don't complain, Nick. Consider yourself blessed.
Right.
That's right.
Hey Kevin, I did a real quick SWR check on those antennas you found and dug up out of the ground somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're right at 6 meters. So they're real good. So
they're really good. Yeah, we found some parts, some twigs, and Mike made some 6 meter quarter wave antennas out of wood. So
nice.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's
wood and a piece of belling wire, and you were up there and hot.
Well, it was old state vehicle that had 6 meters, and they ripped it. I mean, I don't know how many vehicles the state of California has, but probably I don't know, dozens, thousands, millions, and they just, and those old bent whips and stuff, just they throw them away. So we a couple swap meets and stuff in different places. They showed up for I mean literally I was at one swap meet and the guy was just giving them away because they were just laying there. So I go, hey, these might work for 6 meters. Only problem is Mike and I found out the hard way, the threads on the bottom are weird. So we had to just wait around until we found there. Pardon me? We just had to wait around until we found an NMO mount that had the proper threads. So we stumbled onto one and woohoo, it works. That's good, man. I'm glad.
Probably a good idea turning off that hot spotlight right over my head, huh?
No,
not like it's 97 or anything in here.
No, the retina burning bald head. It's very attractive.
Easy.
Yeah. Hey, that's why I'm wearing the hat, buddy. I got the studio light thing going. I got the big bald here. Yeah.
So Kevin, Jason and I were cyber stalking your property on Google Earth there from his garage the other day.
Okay.
Are you going to get that spot across the street? He said you have a friend who owns some property. Is that in play as well, or?
I don't know. I'm going to go ask him. The truth is they're very nice people. They came over last year, saw what we were doing, ate some free cheeseburgers, and volunteered to let us use to park because they thought it was such a great thing we were doing. Well, now that I don't know how they'll feel about it now that the COVID-19 thing, because he might think I don't know how comfortable they'll be. I'm going to be asking them this weekend and bribing with the cheeseburger and see what happens. And
now that they've gotten to know you, it may not happen.
Yeah. I've lived across the street for 22 years. 22 years. Yeah, they know me pretty well.
It sounds like hope is really not there.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just come clean. You guys are screwed. Okay. Let's just come clean. No, they're nice people, and they might. And my wife, my lovely bride, was in here. She made me mute the camera. She goes, "I'm not walking by till you mute the camera." I'm like, "What?" She goes, "I'm leaving. Mute the camera." So, anyways, she brought up before she left. She says, "Hey, there's that. If you're Google stalking the property, you'll see a row of trailers by the trees. Okay, so on the 1 acre, about an acre west side of the trees is where we did it last time. And if we get a couple overflow trailers on the east side of the trees, we could put a couple RVs over there. I've even got I'll tell this to Nick. Don't nobody listen. Hey Nick, this is only for you. I have an extra trailer with 2 pop outs, but not being used. And if you come down, you can probably sleep in it and be out with the guys. Although I don't know, a smoker had it before me, so I can't guarantee I get all the smoke smell out. But otherwise, the thing is super clean.
So how much food are we talking about here?
That's
what I'm worried about.
Okay, the food is awesome. The club buys hamburgers. Friday night I can't remember. Friday night we did tri-tip, and then that was Saturday night. Friday night we did hot dogs. Saturday for lunch we bought the premium burgers. We had cheeseburgers, hot dogs, and potato salad. Everything was just beautiful. We set up two giant barbecues. Frank ran it, and it was awesome. We had 3 or 4 ice chests packed full of all the soft drinks you can think about, waters, and we invited the ARRL people, the other club. We throughout the day, you'll have to ask Bob, our safety officer. There was a lot of people showed up, just not at the same time throughout the day. It took about 8 to 10 hours for all the people to go through. But the ARRL guys, they actually came out and said it was the best one they stopped at that day, because it was pretty cool. We set up 3 or 4 pop-ups. We tie them together. We anchor them down. We put the little camping lights around them. Friday night we set it all up. So Friday night and Saturday night, it's as cool ham radio party time as you're gonna get.
Yeah,
you know?
no, that sounds like a lot of fun. I'll definitely see what I can do. I have the dates saved there. I'll find out if I can get down there.
Wear a different sweatshirt, please, because we don't want to see chickens. There.
Yeah. Jason's our logistics coordinator. He does that. We do, because we have 75 card carrying members on the club. We do reserve the camping spaces to the card carrying club members typically. Okay, and then we ask the guys, whoever's, so Carlos, you and Nick and Chris, aren't you? You're a member too, aren't you? Or
no, not yet. I'm in the process. I've been talking to Jason about joining. I was hoping to join at a meeting.
Well,
so the process is like a 4-minute form to fill out online.
Basically, you give me $20 and you're in. Okay. That's pretty much what it boils down to. So
and the club gets 10, and
yeah. Well, you know what? If you give me $10, you're a partial member. Okay, you're halfway there. But yeah, and last year we filled up, and then we had 2 or 3 people that, for reasons beyond their control, they couldn't show up. And my neighbor had offered that other area. So if he does, that will add at least 5 to 7 more RVs, because it's a big lot. I mean, that would be like almost 5 acres between the two. And if we do that, and we had planned on, and we might still, I don't know, I got to talk to Bob, KM6BXZ. He's our club safety officer. He's also the volunteer radio officer for Solano County. And we were going to invite some of the county ACS guys out to participate, because almost all of them are hams as well. So, and they may come visit. And we had several of them come visit last year too. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, there you go.
No, sounds good. Hopefully we keep in the right direction until then, and we don't have another little spike like some people are anticipating, but we'll see.
What? I am not going to comment on that on the air, because full disclosure, I'm not completely buying into all of it at this moment. So anyways, let's move on. As far as everybody out there in YouTube land, looks like we got 18. Awesome. We're going to try to do some interactive ham radio stuff. Other than operating, we're going to try and talk about antennas, because what better opportunity to use field day to play with antennas? You're going to get to see there's guys bring the DXCC, there's dipoles, there's fan dipoles, there's buddy pole, there's long wire, half-wave infant long wire, and there's the 9-to-1 random. And I'm going to be doing some experiments just for really my own gratification, and to jot down some notes between now and then, because there's a lot of difference between using the 9-to-1 or unbalanced, unbalanced. Okay, fine. Still a transformer. And then using a half wavelength antenna that's resonant at something with a 49-to-1. And I really want to bring that information to the surface, because I've certainly noticed a lot of our club members and friends of the club are been calling, man, I can't get my long wire antenna to behave. It won't do this, it won't do that. And was it Nick last night? You said you had RF coming back on your line, on your random length. Was that you?
Yeah, it was me. But I sorted it out. I I was gonna send you a picture of it. My phone's acting up. It wouldn't send the picture, but I'll try to send it here later.
Okay.
I just made a cheap, or one of those poor man's chokes or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And that seemed to solve the problem. I actually, because I didn't really have the real estate to hang the length of wire that I had off of the 9-to-1 properly, I ended up shortening it. And I actually shortened it all the way down. I've got a 35.5-foot piece of wire that my internal tuner on the Yaesu will tune every single band if I lay the counterpoise properly.
Right, because you're a 9-to-1 requires a counterpoise for the other half the antenna, and then to get the current into the antenna, you got to have something to force it off the coax into the antenna.
Yeah.
But I want to do some experiments that everybody can look at, not just listen to me, but see it and read it. Ugly Bowens are just that; they're ugly. You never know whether they're going to work. And I want to show guys so many hams have taken it and wound that flat well, and it went, oh man, it fixed my problem. And then the next guy did it. Man, it didn't do anything.
That's what I made.
Yeah.
Hey, nice.
I found a little piece of pipe.
Yep.
And how'd you flip yourself around like that?
And it'll work, but I'll set up a bench. What we'll do is we'll set up a tent, or maybe we'll just do it at the shop. I don't know.
Hey, Kevin.
So you can see it. Go ahead.
Have you ever seen that show Forged in Fire, where they make the knives and they give them like a box full of crappy steel and they got to forge a sword or a thing? We need to have like an antenna contest, and we give them a little basket. And there's like a rock and like a 8-feet piece of wire and a piece of wood, and whoever can make like the best 2-meter antenna wins the contest.
That's pretty, tape measures, clothes hangers,
forged on wire.
Yeah, man, whatever. Wait a minute, we got to change the subject. We lost a viewer, so somebody doesn't like us. Anyways,
it was right after Jason popped.
I saw a note pop up somewhere from Jason.
Yeah, we got a Jason lurking in the background there.
He's there. He's zooming in.
Hey, am I getting in? What's going on, guys?
What's happening?
Excellent.
Hey,
don't mind my nose. I got in a bit of a skateboarding accident.
Dude.
That sucks.
Don't mix barbecue, alcohol, and overall gravel in the road.
Man, dude.
Hey, Jason, hope you didn't videotape it, or else it'll be on ridiculous. Hey,
Yeah.
I don't want to see on ridiculousness.
Showing off again, huh? Yeah, we're up here in Petaluma. Things are going great.
Oh, there's Bobby Lee. What's up, man?
Bobby Lee. And
hey.
Oh, the
tax man is in the house.
No, that's the end of the tax man. The tax man has been corrupted.
Hey, Jason, can you walk us through the? Can you walk us through the
Ted in there with Bobby Lee?
Yeah, Ted's in collecting his taxes from Bobby.
I don't think that's exactly what he's doing.
Are you guys drinking Guinness? What is that?
That's Jack Daniels, baby.
Oh!
Guinness? That's a girl's drink. Oh, wait. I mean, except for the guys that like beer. Sorry about that.
Show us the antenna, Jason.
All right. Well, I mean, so here's one section of it, right there, and then here, these are some people. That's Priscilla, and that's Nick. Hey, you look familiar.
Where's your family?
There's my.
Yeah, we thought you went camping with your family.
They left after the accident. They
We're
left.
social distancing.
He's at
Here's
somebody
the
else's
mask,
camp.
Right? I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of up there.
We are actually real.
Here. Hey,
Just so you know, Jason is not BSing. He actually has friends on ham radio. I know it's weird, but
There's my
we're real.
little wife.
Hello.
I actually mouthed off to her and she beat me up.
You just told her how much your radio really cost, didn't you?
She She said,
Jason.
stop messing around with these antennas and all these wires. What do you do with all these wires? She said.
It's a ham thing.
Hey, tell her nobody knows what the nose knows.
Yeah, just don't skateboard while you had a few. You know, that's the message.
Can you do a handstand?
Oh, you want me to do a handstand? Oh, this guy here, he can do a handstand right here.
I can do 1 second handstands. You good with that?
I can do one.
I demand a 2-second handstand.
I'm not going to make a promise on a 2-second handstand. That's a really long time, but I can do a 1 second handstand.
Okay,
sure. Maybe 2. Nah,
1 second
right, here we go.
handstand. Do it. 1 second handstand. Let's go.
We got a little wire over there. No big deal.
2, 3. Grab the grass.
2 seconds.
That was pretty
No,
good.
that was a cartwheel. Yeah!
That was 2 seconds. I'll give that 2 seconds.
Yeah! That's it. Woo!
How many seconds? That had to be at least 3 seconds.
I want to see Jason do that for 1 second on the button.
Okay, yeah, I'll hold the camera.
Or 1 pull-up.
Jason's famous last words, hold my camera.
Here we go.
I'm not a handstand kind of guy.
This is still live, just so you know.
Wait a
Jason.
minute.
No, forget about the wire, Jason. 1 second. 1 second handstand.
Don't try this at home.
Handstand and then point at it with your feet.
Yep. Here we go. We got a child blocking up, so that's important.
You're at the KOA of Petaluma, and things are going great.
He's really he's stalling. He's stalling here.
All right, guys. I don't mean to take it away, but back to you. I just want to check in and say hello to everyone.
Hey, Jason, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
It went really, really well with Nick. I just want to warn you.
Good.
All right. Well, now.
Warn you.
Oh, wait. You mean, Jason, you weren't there?
Hey, hey, Chris, are you there? This here is Odin. Last night you were talking to Odin.
Hey, Odin, we got to talk last night on the radio.
Cool.
All right.
Odin's
So, yeah,
in the
we'll
house.
put 80 meters up here in a little bit and say hello to everyone.
Yeah.
Wait, do you have Zoom on your phone?
Yeah. You got Zoom on the phone.
Well, Jason, I just want to make it official that Nick did it tonight, and he does not suck that bad. It's going to be okay. Okay.
All right. So we had good audio, good video.
Sometimes. At
Yeah,
times we did.
It
Yeah.
worked good.
It worked
It
good.
went well, and Chris did a real good presentation on NetLogger, so it worked well.
I was surprised when we hit 200 people watching on YouTube.
That was crazy.
That was amazing. I was like 198, 199. Holy cow, 200. It was amazing.
Hey, Chris.
Foursquare, you ready?
Oh, hey.
No?
We're ready.
We're doing some Foursquare. You guys ever do Foursquare?
I'm 4. You're not 4, you're 6.
Well, all right, guys. I'm going to go for now, but thank you so much for carrying on the 2 meter crew. I'm going to heal this nose, and we'll see if we can't get on 80 maybe a little later when the sun goes down.
All right.
All right.
It's hardly noticeable, the nose.
You know, looking at all the streaming video, the one I want to see try a handstand is the tax man.
Yeah.
I think he could do it with no hands right now.
He's trying it right now in the garage with no room.
He went to do it. Where is he?
He needs another shot.
She's trying to heal my nose injuries.
With alcohol.
Yep, tequila works
Oh, is
best.
that,
Just
That's
always
Chris.
double down.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, it's hardly noticeable, right? You can hardly notice it.
Punch him harder.
Yeah, she told me to shut up once or twice. I don't know. I lost track.
Good thing it's not smell-o-vision. You have a hard time, huh?
He's fine.
He's fine. I'm glad.
I know.
We don't want Jason. We don't want Jason broke.
I just didn't recognize Chris without his hat.
I know. Well, I was doing a formal presentation, so I got all dressed up.
I I was a little
Hat
shocked.
off.
I
I'm
was a
ready.
little shocked you didn't have your hat on there, Carlos.
No, man. That's
Hey, Carlos, here
too
you go.
hot. Is that what hair looks like?
Hey, Fred, could you explain to Ted how easy it was to go get your license and, well, how he's a big time slacker for not doing it?
Oh my gosh. I made one phone call, drove an hour in the beautiful countryside, put a mask on, made a friend. Easy.
And Chris, too. Chris is a general now, also.
That's right. And we're trying to get Ted to come along, but he keeps giving us excuses and putting up antennas and buying more radios, but no license.
Yeah.
He's too busy playing Robin Hood. He's out, robbing from the rich and giving
One
them
of
the
these
poor.
days, I will.
So, Ted, do you want to give us any tips on how to attach antennas to the roof of your car before you drive around?
Oh.
Muted.
They're trying to talk to us, and I tried to unmute his audio, but I can't figure out how to get it to.
There he is.
Oh, we were scrambling to unmute the audio. Come on, where's my button? Wait, everybody! Bring that girl back! Bring her back!
Have you even
There,
noticed that this hot chick smacked my ass?
I fixed.
No, you guys haven't even noticed. We went to Rio.
Yeah, you guys are live on YouTube right now too.
Tell her that she's streaming live right now, Jason.
Yeah, let her know she's
These are
live streaming on
radio
YouTube.
guys. They don't even know what a girl looks like. They're trying
We're
to
up
figure out
to
what's going
200
on in that one screen.
240 YouTube viewers.
We just wanted you guys to know that this is streaming live on YouTube right now too.
Look, here goes Bobby Lee live.
Only a couple hundred people watching.
It's she goes, is that true? It's absolutely true.
Hey,
send her
you
the
can
link
show
and
the
have her
tape.
subscribe to Northwest Ham Shack.
You can show her the
It's
the
full of
video
great
later.
content.
Hey, Jason, why are you doing this to us? You know we're all locked up in our house. And you just had this super hot,
Things are opening
lovely married gal do the little dance about. And now, well, you know what? God bless social distancing. This is great.
Wait, Bobby. What do you mean you all are locked up in your house? Who's that sitting there next to you? Pretty sure that's there.
Yeah, I kind of forgot. No mask. But
The
hey, look,
the tax
he's 6
collector
feet
doesn't
away.
count.
Here, he's 6 feet away. Oh, we're legal.
Tax collectors do what they want.
Hey!
Don't push him too close to that bottle of Jack. He'll take all of it.
Oh, he's actually closer to one of the little pellet gun racks.
Oh, bye, Jason. Hey, Chris, a quick word. Just wanted to let you know that we did that meeting last week in my Northwest Club Zoom. It went out okay.
Hey, fantastic. So you're
Good
sharing
job.
okay and everything?
It did all right. Yeah, I shared the stuff from different sources about the Q codes and 73 and all. It was pretty cool, and it was nice. Some of the folks listen to the radio only, and some of them haven't listened on Zoom or watched Zoom. It was all right. Not bad for the first time.
Hey, if you pulled that off in the first time, that's good stuff, man. Congratulations.
Well, thankfully, KM6 SPB Lance has an account with his medical association. But he's going to try. We might try to get our own account so we're unlimited. Anybody could access it, not just him or Joel AI6TG. But we'll see what happens. But you've kind of inspired me, and I think it kind of gave me confidence to make it work. So, presentation did well. Thanks.
Cool. And I heard you out on your rig this week. You've been. I saw the photos on Discord, and you've been taking it around in the different rigs already, right?
Well, I've got the DB25 in my car right now, and I've got an old MFJ 1728 6 and 2 meter dual band. It seems to help pretty good. I'm shopping around DX Engineering trying to get some upgraded antennas, maybe higher dB. I think the that 1720 is like 2 dB, 2 meters. So I'm gonna see if I get at least a 3 dB gain. Right, I'll get a mag mount.
Oh, you ought to be able to do better. And so, is this for mobile or for home?
Mobile.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Radio Oddity DB20.
Okay, yep.
It works okay. I tried the programming, download it, just had trouble. I use Chirp. Chirp works nice.
Hey guys, I'm out of here. I gotta go. I got a client. It was really fun. And Chris or Nick, you did Chris too. Chris did a great presentation. Nick, you did an awesome job hosting. And enjoyed hanging out with all you guys. I got to call a client. They're texting me. So,
all right, Kevin. Thanks for coming by tonight.
And I don't want to talk to Bobby Lee anymore unless he hooks up his Radio Shack microphone. Okay.
Yeah, that's prerequisite.
He hooks up his Radio Shack base station mic. I will talk to him.
They're the ones having fun at the Jack's there. I'm looking for him to post an address.
I know he's like I talk on it, but I can't find the frickin'
Bobby Lee, my Jack and Coke is gone.
He's looking for his mute button.
I'm looking. Don't show me the glass. I want a refill.
I think he found what he was looking for. All right, guys.
Tomorrow's water.
See you later, Kevin.
See you later. You guys have a great
night. What's wrong with you people?
Take care.
Bye, Kevin.
By the way, Fred, I have to check on your 80-meter contact on your Facebook page. Good job. Congratulations.
Thanks.
What radio,
Michael.
what radio do you have? What's your radio?
What are you talking about? You talking to me?
That's just not right, Bobby Lee, man. That's just hurtful.
Wild and crazy, Bobby Lee.
Hey, did you get that, or you need a little more? There you go. There you go.
No, I got my water. I'm working tomorrow. So there.
Hi, Fred.
Hi, what's your name? Oh, Bobby Lee.
One and only Bobby Lee.
We're gonna go back and turning the microphone off again.
Yeah. They're still sober enough to know it's best to go mute.
Right. That's a good thing.
Hey, Fred, quickly, what radio are you using right now for HF?
The Yaesu. FT817.
Oh, what's that?
FT817 Yaesu.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, is
Little
that
Shack in the Box, QRP.
Oh, you got the QRP one. Okay.
5 watts.
5 watts.
So your contact was, what mode was it? CW, FT8, or?
No, single sideband voice.
I think he only made it to Africa.
Michael, I made it across town.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I have to listen. I didn't listen. I have to take a look.
Then Nick heard me in Half Moon Bay on the SDR, and then a guy in Carson City, Nevada heard me.
Great.
I know the propagation north seems to be pretty good for me right here too. I'll get up into Oregon, Washington, and then swing in east a little bit. Idaho, out that way, I seem to get pretty decent.
Oh, good. Congratulations. So, yeah. So again, I'm sorry. It was a tough question. Was it what mode did you use? FT8 or what mode for your QRP?
Single sideband. He was voice.
HF.
How many watts?
5. He was 5 watts.
How
voice.
far?
Well, I mean, he was making where? How far are you from Half Moon?
That's good.
Friends.
That's probably 80 to 100 miles.
Yeah.
Well, you get good conditions of propagation, man. There's guys that do 5 watts all over the
you get that thing up
world.
on a hill.
I mean, that's
the antenna
that's a contest, right? QRP.
Take it up to Mount Diablo once it opens up. I bet you'd be absolutely blown away at how 5 watts performs when you get away from any of the underlying noise.
What frequency are you guys hitting? Was it 3903 or something like that?
I forget where we were.
Oh, I'm not sure. 39050, I thought.
No, we were on 3930.5 last night.
Yeah, that's where we ended up, right? We started 3925 and then 3930.5, right?
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of people out there last night.
Okay. Hey, by the way, guys, I know you did that, Chris, a couple weeks back, but as just a reminder, my North Hills Club does their 75-meter net every Saturday night, 8 p.m. local time, 3918.5. But Chris made his first contact. We have a few guys that check in from our club around the state, a couple guys in Southern California. And if the conditions are right, maybe you could try it yourself. You know, maybe you too, Nick. But 3918.5 Saturday nights, 8 p.m.
Okay.
I don't have the general info. 8 p.m. Yeah. Again, 3918.5 lower side band. That's our North Hills 75-meter net. I don't have general yet, but I do listen on my radio, so it comes in pretty good.
What radio do you have that does HF?
Oh, I don't have one right now. I just monitor. I don't have my general.
Oh, just on SDR. Okay.
I have SDR Play for my computer here.
Oh, cool.
And my MLA 30 loop from eBay, and then I use Web SDR as well. And so I could listen to everything. So someday I'll get my genuine, as Derek calls it. So
how did you feel about that test going into it, Fred?
Oh yeah,
I studied a lot, so I was about 83% in all the sections. So
yeah,
that's awesome. I'm glad you did it. I've I cracked the book, if you will, on the extra, but I'm reading up on all of the newer questions. So I'll have to wait till after June to actually go find a testing site.
Yeah.
But or do it online. Did you do it online, or did you did a site, right?
Yeah, I drove over. It was a COVID-19 test. 6 feet apart and mask.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. They're figuring out how to do it. You know, there's a lot of folks out there during this that wanted to test out.
Yeah.
Chris, were you online, or did you go somewhere also?
No, we did it in a parking lot. It was pretty funny the way they had it spread out, and they had to keep the crowd under 10 people because of the Contra Costa County order. But I did post up on 2 Meter Crew Facebook, another link for online guys they're running them multiple times a week now online. There's still a waiting list to get on there, but if you get on the list and you want to get in, you can get it done on there. And, I just made an FTA QSO while we're talking.
Cool. Hey Chris, just to let you know, our club president Joel AI6DG, he's having an FTA, so maybe someday you might get him the AI6DG. He lives in the South Sacramento area, but he's an FTA fan all the way.
So here's what I think about it. And I think it's a really personal thing. I love the technology. It's fun. During the day, I'm watching and trying to grab a few contacts around the world. Even when the bands look like they suck, you're still picking stuff up, and that's fun. And seeing where you can get to, that kind of thing. So I'm enjoying that. But definitely, if you're you miss the conversation, right? There's no back and forth. There's no just literally exchanging that info.
I like a mic in my hand.
Yeah, that's it. But it's like another thing to have fun with my radio. So I like it.
You're absolutely right, Chris. You hit the nail on the head. It's a really cool thing to play around with, but it definitely doesn't it doesn't displace anything as far as for me, as far as ham radio is concerned. And Carlos, you had said I like to have a mic in my hand. It was funny. I was driving the other day, and I was like, you know what? I've been playing around with all of this stuff, and I feel like sometimes I'll go all day long, and I didn't even talk on the radio, so I just turned it to 520 and started calling CQ, and then somebody came, and they started talking to me, and we talked for a minute, and it doesn't take that away. It doesn't make you not want to do that, at least for me. But it is neat. Yeah. Do you have Grid Tracker and everything all set up, Chris?
Yeah, which is another really cool. That's one of the fun things is I've got Grid Tracker going all the time. So it's got this map here. I can show you guys right now what's going on with it if I do a share screen.
I don't have mine up, but it's so easy to deploy. You can be making an FT8 contact in a minute. You just load 2 programs up and you're.
Yeah, I'm bringing it up. It's running right now in the background, so hopefully you guys will see it here in a second.
Yeah. There it
is. This is Grid Tracker, and you can see like all of those yellow stamps are QSOs that I made today. I haven't done much out of the U.S. I don't think today. Everything's been pretty much sort of around, which is fine because I'm trying to get all 50 states. And then
so what do you send? You send a little note or something?
Yeah. So this page here, this is the WSJT software, and you can actually do other modes other than FT8 in it. But over here on the right, hopefully you can see my cursor moving around.
Yes.
That bottom right-hand corner, that's the series of messages that get sent once you make like a shake hands with somebody, right? And I'm kind of keeping an eye. If I see something pop up, I could have hit that Mexico guy, but yeah, let me give him a try. All right, so now you see enable transmit. I'm trying to reach out to Mr. Mexico, XE1KK, and if they get a handshake, it'll start going through that sequence of messages. And basically, it's exchanging like signal strengths or call signs. Yeah, he disappeared, so I lost him. And then a 7-3 at the end, and it kind of closes out the QSO. And then automatically, the Grid Tracker puts that in my QRZ or my logbook of the world and keeps track of them, where they're at on the map. You can see some of the guys that I got over here in Japan. Why is it not letting me zoom in and out? It's kind of funny. But yeah, a little slow moving with Zoom and everything going on. But that's kind of, to be honest, that's it. There's also a waterfall, which I don't know how, when I'm in Zoom, it's kind of hard to come up. There's a waterfall that you can watch, and you can kind of see whose strengths, who's got strong signal strength, or where there's a band opening where you can jump in and call CQ. So let me try calling CQ right now. So I'll just set it up down here for a transmit CQ, and I'll enable transmit, and now you can see in the upper right corner CQ, N6CMB, CM97 is my grid square, and we're going to just throw it out there and see if I can catch any fish. And basically, it'll just keep doing that every, I think they're 20-second long intervals.
15, 20?
Yeah, somewhere around there, right? And you signal for 20 and then you wait for 20. And hopefully, someone wants to talk to you and they'll answer up.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So right now I'm actually transmitting. You guys can't hear it, but my radio is putting out transmitting.
Yeah, it's amazing. I could listen. I hear that famous whiny sound of it. It's very popular these days. All those frequencies. So I guess basically about every band, it's about 07 something kilohertz in each of the bands.
Yeah, they try to hit it on there. So if you look on the left here, you can see 074 on 40 and on 20. But some of the other ones, they're a little bit different.
Pretty close.
Yeah, 15 and 10, they're all 074s.
That's pretty much part of the CW digital part of each of the allocation?
Yes, so you can, and then you can change, like your digital mode up here should be. You can see some of the other modes that are available: FT4, JT4, which I haven't touched any of the other modes yet. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, and you just leave it go. It's going to for about 6 minutes. It'll call CQ and try to snag somebody. And in the meantime, you can be tinkering around in here and seeing what's going on with your logging and who else is. You'll start to see sometimes the connections between other stations if you're hearing them talk, because you're picking up more than just your own signal going out and signals coming back to you. You'll start to see those other conversations going on. And also the activity logger up here, which is cool. You can see 40 is picking up right now, 20 is sort of got the most activity, and then 30's got like a little bit going on. Something's going up over the top right there. So, hey, pretty fun to play with. It took a little bit of setting up, like all these things seem to do. You know, you got to kind of get all the settings right in your radio and all the settings right in the software, and then boom, everything comes to life, and it's pretty fun.
Okay, well, thanks for sharing. Just, like I said, I know that you can't react to it, but it's just the thrill of setting a signal for such far away in such bad conditions. I guess that's thinking about weak signal technology.
Yeah, and I guess you could say it's not that different than maybe CW, except CW takes the skill of making that, major.
Now, how many watts do you usually push out there?
Well, a lot of guys will try to run low, and most guys say you don't need much, but me, I'm pushing out my 100, and when my amp, I'll probably be pushing out a kilowatt. So.
If I got it, I'm pushing it.
Exactly.
That sounds good. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to grab a little snack for today. So, thanks again, Chris. And like I said, that meeting last week, the club was good. The Zoom's going to work. So thanks again. Good job, Nick, again. Good job, Nick, once again.
Thank you.
And, so everybody here, take care, 7-3s. We'll talk to you guys later. Talk to you soon. Kansas 6 I'm out of here. See ya. All right. Goodbye.
Looks like we still got 13 people watching on the live stream. Things are going good. Fred, I'm a little curious about, I haven't dove into it yet, but I did download a program. I just haven't had a chance to go in and set it up yet. I downloaded the FL Digi, and I'm going to try to set up some of that PSK31. You work that mode, right?
Yeah.
And that is a little more user friendly because you can, or I guess communication friendly because you can actually send a little bit more of a message. Is that right?
Yeah. The app I use they call them macros. You just set them up with your information and things you want to say. You'll just hit the button and it will transmit that. But you can actually pull up the keyboard and type too. I see guys doing that.
Yeah. And is there a length of message that you can send, or is it cut off at a certain point? Or
I do not know.
Okay. And what's the furthest contact you made with that?
I have only listened.
Okay.
As far as picked up people. I haven't made any contact as being a general yet.
Okay.
Because 20 seems to work pretty good.
That's right. You can't. You have to be general in order to do data in RTTY.
Yeah, you can do it on PSK 31. You can do it on 6 and 10.
Okay.
But I never got anybody. I never heard anybody on 6 or 10.
Okay.
But I actually heard someone for like New York and Florida.
Well, that'll be exciting. Keep me updated when you hear anybody and you make a contact in that mode. I'm excited to see what you do with that.
Yeah, I'll post it up.
Okay.
I was watching one of the YouTube channels last night. Is Crash? Was it Crash Course? It's the guy in Florida.
That's Ham Radio Concepts.
Ham Radio Concepts. He had a video where he and he's been talking about it, I guess, for a year. He built this remote control Yagi. It's on like a gimbal with stepper motors, and it chases the satellites automatically. You put this tripod out, and it's battery powered, and instead of doing it by hand chasing the satellite, this thing follows it as it goes around from data. I don't know where it's getting the data, honestly. Pretty neat though.
Yeah, you should be able to do it because they have the smaller telescopes that you can put up to track like on stars. So same technology, right?
Yeah.
As long as you know the track, right?
Yeah, I guess if you could input the trajectory and speed, or
that'd
be kind of cool.
The satellite apps have all that information, the speed, the angle.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was one of those things. I guess he says, "Oh, this will be really easy to build," and I guess it wasn't that hard, but it did take him. He said a good year to sort of piece it all together and make it work. And he had tons of hardware on his desk that he said he tried to use and it didn't work. But it's pretty funny looking when it starts kind of jittering around and following the satellite all on its own.
All right, you guys. I think I'm gonna check out also.
Yeah, I think
see what we're doing.
I think it's about time to wrap it up. So I think the same way Jason would have, I'm going to hit a couple buttons and shut her down. To the remaining, I think it's 12 people. To the remaining 12 people watching, thanks for tuning in tonight, and hope you guys all have a good night too. We will we'll chat later.
Thanks for everything, Nick.
Yep.
Good night, guys.
Good job, Nick.